Welcome to the Basketball Diary. I'm Woo, and today I have Brandon Boyle. How are you?
Doing good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How's everything?
Everything's good. I mean, I've been up here in New Jersey all summer working on my game, working on my father's camp over in Clark, and that's about it.
Camp just finished.
Camp just got done Friday. Had the best week of camp we've had probably 5-6 years. Really competitive. I mean, the kids up here really bring it. Man, can't beat it.
How many weeks did you guys have?
Total we had 6, and I was working all 6, and me and my dad were pretty much doing all the dirty work. So.
The grunt work.
Yeah, man. I mean, when we were over at Arthur L. Johnson School in Clark doing the camp the last 4 weeks in New Jersey, I had the kids every day for at least an hour on the field with me running 40s, push-ups, sit-ups. And when I was telling them, the purpose of what we're doing, trying to teach these, kids at local high schools how to self-train, get better, doing different drills with basketballs and also with that, it's self-training. It helps you get better, helps your teams get better. Guys see you doing this stuff.
Yep.
That's the point. I mean, so no one was really complaining. Everyone was really into it. Everyone saw I was doing the stuff with them, getting workouts with them. So they're like, wow, this guy's in the trenches with us. We have no right really to say anything.
So it's only about a few weeks in the summer every year here.
Yeah, only a few. I mean, I don't come up for too long. I mean, I have stuff to tend to down at beautiful Montverde, Florida.
Hey man, how was that relationship, being a father and son? Your dad coaches Montverde, and people see a lot of it on TV and such, but this is a pretty high profile job in high school basketball that he has.
Yeah.
Sent a lot of guys to the NBA. And how does that relationship work? Like what do you say? Do you say, hey dad, in front of everybody in the huddle, or coach? What's that relationship like?
No, playing for my dad, I think overall it was a really good experience. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Even I had the benefit of knowing a lot and having seen a lot when I was playing for him.
Yeah.
So I understood to value moments and value the guys I was playing with and the time spent playing high school basketball. But playing with him, I mean, after my freshman year at St. Pat's, where I played for Christian Venice and the JV team there, it was a fun time. I mean, a really tough year. I owe that guy a lot for getting me really tough. He got me really tough that year. I played the last 2 games of that year with a fractured ankle, probably my best 2 games.
Wow.
So I have some momentum going into my sophomore year, gained a lot of people's respect. Suddenly you're going to a prep school in Florida with all new guys, a whole new environment.
Right.
St. Pat's, I was the only white kid in the school. Now I'm at Montverde, where there's international, a lot of wealthy people, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, when I first got there, it wasn't a good experience playing for my dad, because there was a lot of people, oh, this guy's son is here. Who is this guy's son? And he was hard on me.
Right.
Hard on me because he, wanted to, set a standard of I'm going to be hard on him, so I'm going to be hard on you guys. And I understood that, but, in the moment, sometimes you don't. You take some things personal. But as it went on, I mean, it was a good experience. Me and the team really molded well, and guys in the team never really saw me as Coach Boyle's son. And I'd refer to my dad as Boyle during the game. And my senior year, when I was captain of the team, playing a lot, it was a lot of times where we're in a game and we make eye contact and he's like, call something to me, and defense, offense, that way. And me and him really had a lot of trust. So playing with a coach who really has your best interest and really trusts you, I mean, that's what you want anywhere.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't trade that for anything. That was overall a really good experience.
After that, finished Montverde, you went to UCF.
Yeah.
What made you pick UCF? And you could tell me about that, obviously, because you left UCF this spring. So go through that.
Well, I graduate Montverde, 2 national titles in a row. Man.
Right.
2013 with Casey Hill, Dakari Johnson, Devin Williams from the Bucks.
Yep.
2014, teams me, D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons, Justin Bibbs, Virginia Tech, Jordan Caroline, Nevada Reno. I decided I'm going to go to Middle Tennessee State. So Coach Kermit Davis saw some stuff in me. And so I'm deciding to go there. I back out of that. It's not my scene. I wasn't going there for the right reasons. And,
that's in Nashville. That's like right around.
It's Murfreesboro. It's like 20 miles from Nashville. And it's a nice area.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was over there. They were like, hey, man.
It's a nice
this
area.
Is a party place.
I'm a northeastern guy, just not for me. And,
okay.
It's a good area for what it is. I appreciate it for what it is. But I decided to do a post-grad year. It was the first year they're doing it at Montverde. I did it. Dante Calabria was a great player at North Carolina, was the coach. So it was me, current Ohio State guard, C.J. Jackson, a few other guys, Bryce Thurston from Mount St. Mary's, had a real good year there. I mean, playing overall was the first year I got entrusted to play point all the time. That's really what I needed to do to get to a school I wanted to get to play at the level I wanted to play at. So end of the year, I end up with a couple options. UCS, one of them. I mean, I decided, Orlando, it just makes sense.
Right.
Coach Donnie Jones interested, I'm gonna do that. So, I went to UCF, and upon getting there, I knew they weren't a great team. I knew there was some locker room issues. And upon getting there, it was a fun time socially. The school is incredibly fun. Central Florida, it attracts a lot of different kinds of people. Good parties, good all that. But, while I'm there, we're a team that's not good, a team that's not winning with talent. And so that tells you all you need to know. Me coming from where I came from is not very well structured, not very well run, and that's the bottom line. A lot of talented guys who, I have some respect for some of the guys, but some of the guys, not really interested in getting W's. And, end of the day, that's what I'm there to do. That was ultimately what fueled my decision to leave. Once the off season started, we had Coach Johnny Dawkins in there, and who's a very good coach, had a lot of other very good coaches come in with him. I practiced there a little bit with those guys, and I was feeling him, but I just wasn't feeling the energy from the rest of my squad, and I decided it was time. I had to make moves elsewhere.
So and then you're ending up at ASA in Miami.
Yeah.
ASA College.
Yeah, Advanced Software Analysis College. So 1 year there to learn how to be on Geek Squad.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Was there any other options? Like, could you have gone to a regular 4-year school?
Yeah, well, the thing is, since I had redshirted my freshman year at UCF, I partially due to the fact that I had got a concussion from Taco Fall right as the season started.
Wait, what did Taco do to you?
Oh, he literally just turned his body into me the wrong way. He's a 300-pound, 7'6" guy, so it wasn't intentional. It was like just a movement of his arm, and I was coming through the lane, hitting the head. I was fine, and I couldn't drive. I was driving that right after practice and couldn't see the road, so I had some problems there, and I came back, and
So Taco knocked you out, and you literally can't see the road while you're driving.
Later on in the day, so it was a little alarming, but then I came back for a couple of games and wasn't really, I was the third point guard at the time, and did I agree with it or disagree with it?
Yeah.
That's beside the point. But I decided, I'm not going to waste a year of eligibility, when we're down by 35 to SMU and then I get in. I'm not losing a year because of that. So, I wasn't about to let that happen. So that's a redshirt year. If I would have went to another Division I had a couple options, but if I would have went to another Division I would have had to sit out again. I love the game too much to sit out 2 years in a row. Just not something I can do. It's not
So
for
you
me.
want to play JUCO right away?
Yeah, I had a couple of Division II options, and a lot of junior colleges called me the day I decided to leave Central Florida. A few in Iowa, Illinois, Texas, Kentucky, but I'm like, if I'm going somewhere for 1 year to get my AA, I'm thinking I'm gonna look local because I know there's really good junior college around here, and I was already hearing from a couple schools like Indian River State, Palm Beach State, a few other ones, and a guy who coached at, who was new coach down at Montverde, guy Frank Holloway, did a lot of work overseas coaching at Barking Abbey and a few other schools. He knew a guy who's got a team that's not too good, but they're in the best division, and he said, this guy's looking for a guard, I'm gonna call him, and it was really that simple. On the spot, the guy's just, we got a kid from UCF who wants to come, he's a gym rat, for sure, we'll take him. So it was that simple.
So now you're gonna go to ASA, right?
ASA in Miami
when does
and
school start?
North Beach, around September.
Okay.
So I got a lot of time still.
Okay. You have played with some really, really talented players the last couple of years.
Kind of. Nah.
Just a little bit. Just a little talented. Not too much.
Yeah, Sports Nation had their fun with it. Sports Nation had their fun with it.
And and it's not just the last guy. The last guy was Ben, right?
Yeah.
He's playing for the Sixers. The guy before that is playing for the Lakers. That's D'Angelo, right? Then you also had Dakari.
Thunder.
You also had Devin Williams.
Milwaukee
right?
Bucks.
What's that like, playing with those guys, that level of talent? What's that like?
I'm sure when I was playing with those guys, I would have given you a different answer.
Yeah.
Now that I have a little more hindsight and a little more view on it.
Right.
And I just kind of have made peace with the fact that my scope of everything is kind of unmatched.
All right, so in the beginning, what was your scope? And what is the scope right now?
My scope in the beginning is I come into Montverde with Casey Hill as the point guard, who's a highly touted guy.
Yeah.
My scope in that is screw this guy, I'm trying to play.
Okay.
It's D'Angelo Russell, screw this guy, I'm trying to play. That's my
Right,
that's
right.
my scope
Everybody's
on it.
like that.
But it's like, I've always, I know the game and love the game too much that when we're playing in the game, I got an open shot, but I know D'Angelo Russell is a better shooter. He's open too. I'm passing to him. He's getting a shot.
Okay.
Because I care more about getting the win.
Yeah.
So, but with those guys, in practice and everything and how I viewed everything as it was going on, it was kind of, I felt I had a really good vantage point as a bystander to see, like, okay, I've seen how good Kyrie Irving was at St. Pat's.
Right.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Dexter
Yup.
Strickland, who played at UNC. Even my brother, who played 1 year at Florida Gulf Coast, just how good he was compared to other guys. And I'm like, wow, some of these guys, like D'Angelo Russell, we're 15 years old. This guy has flashes of something. And I remember our senior year, me and him were never the best of friends and had a lot of respect for each other as players. And I remember I'm telling guys, he's one and done. These other guys are ranked ahead of him, whatever, but I could just see this guy's a one and done player. He's got everything. D'Angelo Russell was out the first 16 games of the season with the #1 team in the country. Came back, we remained undefeated and won the national championship. Now, when you think about that, how hard that might be to do.
Yep.
Yet now the ball dominant point guard D'Angelo Russell comes back and doesn't screw everything up. That takes some talent.
Yeah.
It takes some mental toughness from myself, Justin Bibbs, Ben Simmons, Chris Egge, Jordan Caroline, Jalen Patterson. But for him to do that and not screw up the whole chemistry, that's commendable. I have a lot of respect for that.
Who's been one of the guys you still keep in touch with from the teams the last couple of years?
Okay, Dakari Johnson is one of my best friends, period. I see him once every few months. And I talk to everyone sometimes. I see him a lot. I talked to Noah Dickerson, who plays at Washington.
Yep.
He was there at the end of my senior year, and we just became really good friends. And he's a really hard worker, and he had a lot of, didn't understand how good he could be for a while. And one reason we and him got really close was I started making him come to the gym with me. And he started really figuring out how good he could be.
Yeah.
He's a much better person for it, and vice versa. I see things through his world a little bit too.
As far as Dakari, where is he at now?
I believe that Dakari's still in the Thunder organization, which is like, it's a tough situation right now because they've got, Mitch McGarry, who's an NBA-ready guy ahead of him, who's in a D-League team. They have him, who's an NBA-ready player who probably start for the Brooklyn Nets in the D-League. They just have Sabonis, Steven Adams, Cantor, all these guys. It's just tough. Like,
Loaded with bigs.
it's tough. It's tough the organization to play with, man. It's tough. And I hopefully he can get out of that and get to an NBA team because he's really got the talent. He's really a company guy. You give him a jersey, he's gonna play his ass off for that team.
When you went to high school, you dealt with rankings. You're out of high school. You went to college. You see the real stuff now. What do you think about these rankings? What do you think they do to people?
I'll tell you one thing. I've been very instrumental in helping, Montverde and Montverde Postgrad, which is coached by my older brother, Kevin Boyle Jr., with getting players nowadays. They ask me to watch a lot of film, look at a lot of guys, see some lists. And when the kids come in, I'm usually there in the gym and talk to the kids, their parents. And I always tell my dad, when I hear a parent come out with, his ranking and this and that, and I'm just like, you don't want this kid. This kid's a headache. But we know from experience with other guys, it's a headache.
Right.
Because the #1 player in the country at the end of his senior year has done less in college than the worst walk-on in college. He's contributed more to a college basketball team than the worst player in NCAA Division III. That's this bottom line. It's unpaid, unproven. And the bottom line with the whole rankings thing is it has people chasing something that's just not that important. And I just think it's really not good. I don't think there should be a top 100. I think for college coaches, I think there should be a top 250, 300 in no particular order to tell you who you should be looking at, from many different sources of people.
Yeah.
Nothing political. It's the people who know basketball come together, tell you what's going on. Because the worst thing is when I hear college coaches ask me about guys like, hey, who's recruiting him? It's like, well, you're a college coach. You should probably, judge yourself if you think he's good or not. You shouldn't have me telling you that UConn and Virginia Commonwealth is recruiting this guy if you feel he's good enough to play for you. You're getting paid to do what then?
You don't want to just recruit him because other schools are recruiting him.
Yeah, and all right, well, what's he ranked? It's like, how about you do your job and figure it out? You know, that's kind of my thoughts. I think that ties into rankings because I think it's just really screwed up. You have guys like Malik Newman, who I know is a nice kid, you know, going to Mississippi State and
Now he's transferring out.
and it's
Where's
like
he going? He's going to Kansas?
Kansas, another place where a lot of, you know, guys go in highly ranked and end up staying quite a while.
Right.
And it's like, the bottom line is this, should it really be something so life-altering that you don't end up being a one-and-done NBA player? Because that's really truly what it is. You know, you're in the headlines, the next Chris Paul, the next this. I mean, one of my good friends, Dakari Johnson's a top 5 center.
Yeah.
Now he's in the D-League, and guys are, you know, what happened to Dakari Johnson? Nothing happened to Dakari Johnson. These guys are in college, getting a good education, playing college basketball. It shouldn't be so life-altering where the general public is looking down on Malik Newman because of the fact that he wasn't 30 points a game, 15 assists a game. It's like, as anyone who knows basketball, who I know, can tell you he wasn't going to do that in college. I could tell you he wasn't going to do that in college. I saw the guy play 20 times. And it's like, you know, guys are making these wild comparisons and baby this, baby James Harden, this, and that. It's just, how about, you know, tell us who's a good player and let guys go recruit them, because it shouldn't be a life-altering thing when guys are in college for 4 years or 2 years. It's not good, you know. It doesn't do anyone any dividends.
What do teenagers right now want more of, like, offers and put it out on Twitter?
I mean,
or
everyone loves the social media. I mean, the funniest thing is you have, I'll call it what it is. You got the kid from Norman, Oklahoma, Trey Young, having his decision for his high school. Hasn't, you know, I don't know, like, you know, there had been a major gap of time between his communication with Montverde and you know, anywhere else, and where he's deciding between Montverde and Oklahoma. It's like, he's not coming to Montverde because no one's talked to him at Montverde in any time recently. So this is just to get retweets and to get girls to like your picture on Instagram, etc. You know, that type of stuff is what the kids are after nowadays. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I'm still a kid myself, but I have a little bit of a view where
you're going through
I've lived it. I've been in that position myself, where, you know, you're taking a picture for Instagram, get a picture, you sign a kid's autograph. Everyone likes that stuff for a little while, but then when you kind of see, you know, my vision is guys who were 23, 24, who I was once on a team with, guys now who are 16, 17 on my father's team and in high school. You know, I have a pretty good view, and I'm able to tell some of these kids, here's what's important, here's not, and you're gonna regret thinking that this and that's important, when you really should just be in the gym worrying about, you know, getting to where you're making some money, getting to where you have free education, getting to where you're in college basketball having a fun time.
Yeah.
As opposed to worrying about, oh, let me get an Instagram picture with all my offers. It's just like, why? Why do you need that? You know.
In a couple of years, where do you see yourself? What's your journey?
Oh man, I have no clue. I have no clue where it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be playing college basketball somewhere. So I got a while. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I still have 4 years to play. So I think I'm living the dream, bottom line. But as far as school goes, I majored in film writing this year. I'm really into movies and that type of thing. And I've already written some stuff. I'm working on getting some stuff copyrighted right now. So if my journey is in film or if it's in basketball, we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be probably one of those two, though. I can guarantee that.
I like the narration. I like where the story's going.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
In terms of what you use for social media, like what can people follow you on, like whether it's Twitter or?
My Instagram is Brendan Boyle 00. My Twitter is Brendan Boyle 24_. The underscore is the big one.
Okay, so you can follow him there.
Yeah.
Mr. Boyle.
Woo, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, good luck at ASA and
Thanks
the rest
very
of the
much.
season. We're out.